Hi, my name's Allison and I'm with 5 Stone Creative. We're here in our Dallas studio today to give you our best tips for how to record yourself without using professional equipment. Whatever the device you're using, there's a few settings you're going to want to make sure that you've checked ahead of time. First, make sure that you're recording in landscape mode, not in portrait mode. In other words, this way, not this way. Also, the last thing you want is for your device to start buzzing or dinging or to go black in the middle of your speech or performance. Make sure that you've checked your settings and you've turned off auto lock and notifications. In terms of background, don't use a virtual background or a green screen. Also, don't rent professional equipment. But do make sure that you've tested all of this out ahead of time. Do a little bit of your recording and then watch it back and make any adjustments as necessary. You don't want to wait until the last second to see that it doesn't really work. We've actually set up one of our studios to mimic a room you might have in your house, and we're going to show you some of our best practices put in action. So let's get started. First thing is background. Here, it's important to remember that less is more. You want to be the focus of this video, so you don't want to have a really distracting or cluttered background. The best thing would be to have a solid color wall. Just make sure that when you're thinking through what you're going to wear, that you don't blend in or clash with the wall. Once you've picked a background, it's time to place the camera. Most likely, you're going to need to make a makeshift tripod of some sort using things around your house. You can find a desk or a table and maybe stack a chair or a stool, find a stack of books. Get resourceful and find a way to get your camera where you want it to be and make sure it's going to be secure. Thinking through camera position is important, and it could vary a little bit based off of your event. For instance, if you're doing a humorous interp and you need to move around, you may want to get a full body shot. If you're doing a speech or a debate or something else, it might be better to be a little bit closer up on yourself. Think through what would be the best position for you and then place your camera there. But make sure if you're using a phone, don't use your selfie camera. Make sure you're using your back-facing camera. If you are using a device where you can see yourself, make sure you're not watching the video, but you're looking right into the camera like it's your audience. Let's talk about lighting. To best capture your facial expressions and keep yourself in focus, you need to be well lit. Overhead lighting can be useful to fill a room, but what you really need is a primary light. This could be a lamp, it could be a window with natural light coming in, anything that's going to give you light. If the light is behind you, it's going to create a silhouette and it'll be hard to see what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you've moved that light in front of you and maybe a little bit off to the side so it's shining on your face. And as always, test all of this out ahead of time and see what really makes you look the best. Let's cover audio. Most devices these days come with pretty good built-in microphones, so the best advice I can give you is to speak clearly and confidently, and you should be good to go. You definitely need to test out the loudest and the quietest parts of your performance to make sure they're not too loud or too quiet, and adjust your performance accordingly. And lastly, be aware of your surroundings. If you're home with your family, ask them to be quiet while you do your recording. You don't want to have unwanted noises popping up in the middle of your video. The last thing you want to do is accidentally walk out of frame while you're talking. To prevent this, mark the place where you plan to stand. Also, test the parameters of how wide your shot is and mark that too, so you can move around confidently without leaving camera. The camera always has to stay put, but that doesn't mean that you do. Feel free to get creative with your delivery. You might choose to get closer to the camera or further away for some parts, or you may even choose to deliver a few lines from off camera if you think that that'll enhance your performance. The best thing would be to have somebody help you start and stop your recording. If that's not an option, do your best to hit record and to end the video from off camera. Either way, once the video is recording and you're ready, walk confidently to your spot, take a deep breath, look into the camera, and begin. When you're done, walk right out of the frame and stop the recording. Hopefully your video looks something like this. This is my actual phone footage with everything set up just the way that I've told you to do it. So once you're all good to go, don't forget, have a good time. You've worked hard and your coaches are really proud of you. Let the rest of the world melt away and do your thing. We know there's no replacing the energy of a live performance, but you have it in you to adapt and create something incredible. From all of us here at Five Stone and on behalf of your coaches and contest organizers, we wish you the best of luck.